Hello everyone and welcome back to Plague Inc. Evolved Radio with you here, and today, in single player mode, we are going to be going over the Parasite. Now the Parasite is fairly straightforward, much like bacteria and even virus to an extent, because it was just pretty much get everyone infected and get them killed. I think the gamers, or the developers, wanted to give us a little break after the Neurax worm of last episode, because when you were trying to figure that one out, it can be really tricky at first. But the Parasite is still a lot of fun, and I enjoy it very much. It's just going to be a little bit of a break, I suppose. So, as always, we're going to be using Metabolic Hijack just to pop the orange and red bubbles for me, so I don't have to do it because I'm lazy. And speaking of lazy, we are now up to PAX 31. So, our disease is moving right along, and as we always do, we're going to start off in Saudi Arabia. I'm going to speed the game up here to 3, and some of the things you're going to start noticing patterns as you play this over in the different plagues. First and foremost, most of the time, I guess, air and water are really going to be our key. So what we're going to be doing now is saving up 19 points to get air and water 1, and then we're going to be moving on to some of the newer things that the Parasite offers. They're not quite as unique and as extensive as the Neurax worm, but that's alright. Like I said, this is still a fun virus or a fun plague, and it's a fun game, so I would recommend, well, I mean, you want to beat them all anyway to get to some of the cool unlocks, which we're going to look at later on. But let's start off with air and water, and then the next thing coming up in our abilities is we have Symbiosis. And what this does is it makes it more in tune with the host, making it less likely to be noticed. And what that means is when we start to plug these in, our severity is going to be masked. So we can actually do some symptoms, and the doctors and scientists won't know about it, which is pretty cool because we can kind of get away with more stuff. So let's get in here and let's do Symbiosis 1, and then the second one is 7 points. So we're going to go ahead and save up 7 points for the second Symbiosis. And we're going to put that down. Now we're going to get back into air and water, and it's going to be 16, and this says 17 now, but it will be 18 because it jumps up a point once we buy air. So let's get in, and we'll save up 16 points, and then what is it, 18 respectively, to do air and water 2, and then we're actually going to take a look at using some symptoms for a change. And with our 16 points, we're going to get there, and we're going to put in air 2, so we can now hopefully start infecting a lot of countries via the airport located in the center of our starting country. And I always, for some reason, I really like to watch this kind of branch out. I really think it's neat. I can't explain why, but it just, I don't know, there's something very satisfactory about watching our planes fly death all over the country, or all over the globe rather. So now we're going to do water 2, and I have a couple of points left over. We might even be able to get involved. We can. All right, so what we're going to do is we're looking at infectivity. If you notice, normally when we would click on these, severity would show up a little bit. And because we have the mask going on, it doesn't show up at all right now. So we're going to use coughing, because coughing helps really spread the disease. And then up next, sneezing, which really kind of helps out too. So we need 6 points for that. So let's get to 6 points real fast, and then kind of give everybody the sneezes. Is that a thing? Well, that's what we're doing anyway. We're going to make everybody sneeze. We're going to make them sneezy. So let's do sneezing, and then from here, we're going to go into our abilities, and we're going to do cold 1 and cold 2. So let's get to 9 points, because without the cold 1 and 2, we cannot infect these areas, especially Iceland and Greenland. I've tried it, actually, just to kind of see what would happen, and while Greenland was infected, it was going so painfully slow, it was unbearable. And then Iceland actually stopped moving at one point. So you definitely want to have both cold 1 and 2. And I think we want to save up a couple more points, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 15. So now we have cold 1 and 2. And then we're going to play a little bit with our symptoms. And I like to try for the Walking Dead combo, which is insomnia and anemia. And that will kind of help slow down the cure coming up. So right now we only need 4 points. And that's kind of why we're tinkering with these. The entry-level symptoms don't cost a whole lot. So let's do insomnia. And then we're going to save up 5 more points for anemia. And that should happen pretty quickly here. We're moving right along. So we'll do 5 points in that. And now what we want to do is we're going to save up for a little bit of drug resistance, and that's going to cost us 15 points. So we're going to take a couple of minutes, and you can see kind of the spikes and jumps here. These countries, just the coughing and sneezing is really helping us out a lot. We have no animal help right now, and we didn't even go for extreme bioaerosols this time. So mixing it up. There are, especially in this disease, or this virus, or plague, or whatever you want to call it, there are Here's a good stopping point. There are a lot of ways to beat this particular one, so I recommend write a few down, try different things, try different combinations, and find out what you enjoy. And what happened here? We got immune suppression, and while I would love to keep the immune suppression, you know what I'm going to? I'm going to risk it. If we find it to be an issue, if the doctors take note, we can always devolve it, because getting to total organ failure now is an easy jump. It costs us a little bit, but we don't have to pay for both of these, and I do want to get here, and then we're actually also going to be going up this strain for a change, and I'll show you that. So anyway, where was I? I'm rambling on and on. Abilities, drug resistance, that's what I was talking about, so let's do that. And if you wanted to, if you find that these symptoms are happening a little more, instead of just devolving them, you can in fact go in, and for 13 points do Symbiosis 3, and that'll help mask them even further up the chain a little bit. So it only does it for so far up the chain, but anything is better than nothing when you're playing this game. So right now what we're going to be doing is pretty much waiting for the world to get infected. If I find that we have extra points, I will certainly invest them in either another drug resistance or preferably, well, I don't know if preferably, but genetic hardening only costs us 12, so I might look at a genetic hardening. But at this point you can find that we're not going to be getting points rolling in droves like we're used to. And we had a death, and we're not sure if the doctors have taken note, and it kind of spooks me a little bit because I don't want them to notice us, but it might already be too late. Well, especially because I want to. Yeah, they're working on cure. Son of a gun. Well, that's what I get. That's what I get. Pneumonia. Let's check our pneumonia symptom. Pneumonia is here, correct? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and actually devolve that. I want the bonus 2 points. We need to save 32 points now so we can kind of get into the big guns and start killing people, but we also have to wait for the world to get infected. So I might have accidentally screwed this one, in which case I'll have to do the whole thing all over again. But that's okay. I enjoy playing this game. I've been playing the dog snot out of it lately, and we did get the Walking Dead combo. So now the research is going to be slowed, and that makes me very happy. Pneumonia has evolved for us for free, and I think I'm going to keep it. It raises the severity a touch. I don't think the lethality comes from this at all, and it's only 2 points, so I think I'm going to go ahead and keep that because, you know what, maybe actually it probably is the lethality here, but I'm going to leave pneumonia because it gives us a nice pulmonary fibrosis, which happens to help out a little bit as well. So I'm playing with fire a little bit this time. Normally I don't work this way. Normally I play very safe, and I have enough for our total organ failure, but because we have not infected every person on the planet, I'm not going to get into that yet because I don't want to jumpstart killing people when we have yet to infect the vast majority of America and Canada and, geez, even Finland. Central Europe is getting there. France is just going to get over that hump here in a minute, so you do want to make sure that we've got all the people infected that we need. Now I am going to try to do a little math in my head. We've got 10 spare points because we need 32 for this. I'm just looking at genetic hardening. We can afford this. Let's do a genetic hardening right now because we need to save a whopping 2 points to get our total organ failure, which will certainly happen before all of these add up. And let's take a look at fever and see how severe fever is. Fever is where? Sometimes I don't know where all of these are. Sweating, no. Skin lesions. It would be black, so right here, ding dong. Increases in temperature, contagiousness, severe. It can be. You know what? Let's dump that. I want the extra 2 points so I can spend them where I would like. The fever's not bad, but I just am not ready to start killing too many people just yet. Although I could have let it kill some people because like we're killing people now, but we're not killing them faster than we're infecting them. At least I hope not. Yeah, Canada's crossing that threshold right now. Greenland we're good because that's always a fear of mine. So the only thing I'm worried about is a cure. I always like to try to see if I can keep it below 20%. I don't know if that's going to happen this time. Although I do have a bunch of spare points, so we'll look into that. We're going to start trying to kill people as fast as we can because once that happens, of course, we start getting bonus DNA for the deaths. As sick and twisted as that might be, but that's exactly what we're after. We are a parasite after all. And our favorite message: there are no more healthy people left in the world. So now let's get in here and let's start seeing what we can't do. Let's definitely do this. And then I think I'm going to go up this way because it only cost me 8. Right here, here's a good one. Internal hemorrhaging. And right here's another good one. I can't remember the name offhand, but we're going to save up another 7 points, which shouldn't take too long because people are going to start dying quickly. And of course, we're going to have to click this box a lot because once death is imminent, they really start trying to go to town to cure this thing, and they want to warn us about it left and right. So Iceland has decided they're going to help out by launching a cure, and we're almost there. Almost there. I swear to God that went up a point. Anyway, so let's do internal hemorrhaging and hemorrhagic shock. That's what it is. Look at the jump on that. That's really a great one. So it's 30 points, but that's okay. And we need 23 for a genetic shuffle. We're going to see. We're going to see which one we want to do. It's kind of either way. I mean, we're still absolutely going to win the game. It's really all about the score, and it's about how fast and maybe how many biohazards we can get in our score. So we've got a lot. Okay, let's do a shock because we're killing people so fast. That'll help. And then 23 points, so we need not many. And now we're getting 2 points because of how quickly people are dying. 28 points to the next. There was a nuclear explosion in Spain. Spain is an anarchy, you think, with a big bomb going off? I'm not surprised. Anyway, so we're going to go to our second reshuffle. I don't think we will have enough time or points to get to our third one. But that's alright, because the world's going down pretty quick. I could probably put these into something else. I don't know what on earth I would use. Let's just dump them into symptoms. Let's look at some spare symptoms. This looks good. Systemic infection's always good. I don't have enough for coma. But that just kind of, I don't know, takes care of the last of the people. Looks like Iceland must have died because they're not shipping out their plane anymore, which is fine with me. 28% on the cure. Well, it's not where I wanted to be, but again, sometimes it's just luck of the draw. Certain points get spent certain ways, or they will spawn differently, if that's exactly... I don't know if you want to call this spawning, but your points will come at different paces. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? They'll come at different rapidness. What the hell am I trying to say? I have no idea. 10,170. It's not great. Took us 710 days. Mainly it's because this gear progress is too high, but you know what? We wiped it out all the same. And like I said, there are several ways to go about this. And it's kind of a fun one because you can go up the tree to Symbiosis 3, which is going to mask that disease, their severity. And you can kind of play with different things and see what you want to do as far as trying different symptoms. So up next is one of my absolute personal favorites. If you haven't seen or played the Necrovirus, it really is a blast. It's kind of a two-part, and it really is... the first time I played it, it really threw me for a loop. It's kind of involved, but it's a hell of a lot of fun, and of course, as the name suggests, it's about zombies. And I know that zombies are a hot thing right now, but I've been a zombie fan since I was a little kid, and I kind of enjoy this one. I think they did a really good job with it, so... We're going to do that in the next episode. In the meantime, do me a favor, hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe if you'd like to see more like it, come visit us at the City Builder Collective, and then we're going to see you next time for another episode of Plague Inc. Evolved.